go.
Hi everybody, my name is Maddie Mclinden. My pronouns are they, them, and I am the dyer and fiber artist behind Sherwood Fiber Arts. Um, I'm based here in central Alabama in the US, where it is currently very warm. I think our high today was 86 degrees Fahrenheit, so being surrounded by wool is a little bit stuffy. um, I started crocheting in high school. I was about 17. And then I joined the local fiber guild, and it was all downhill from there. I picked up knitting, spinning, tatting, uh, dyeing. This past week, I took up weaving, which I told myself I was never going to do, but whatever. I need another fiber hobby, like I need a hole in the head. But um, I dye yarn, spinning fiber. I make um, beaded stitch markers, and I have designed a sock pattern. I have more patterns in the works that should be coming out sometime this year. I dye on several different bases. Um, Superwash merino nylon sock yarn, superwash merino DK, non-superwash merino DK, 50-50 superwash merino cotton blends in both fingering and DK weight. I like to source fleeces to dye locks from. I currently have Border Leicester and Cotswold. And I like to dye comb top or roving in a lot of different breeds. Some of my favorites are Targhee, Rambouillet, and BFL. And I have a lot of different, like very bright colors. Obviously, I like color. But yeah, so I'm going to sort of show off some of my colorways for you guys. I'm going to start off with sock yarn because I'm very much a sock knitter. And so that's what I mainly started focusing on when I started dyeing. So this is my 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon sock base. There are 437 yards. I looked up what that is in meters, but I forgot to grab my notes. So this is colorway Merlot. It's a little darker than it's showing up on camera, but it's this lovely tonal dark red burgundy color. I went through a period a few months ago where I was doing almost exclusively tonals, and a lot of them ended up coordinating very well together. So there's a lot of these sort of moody jewel tones. This one is Wizard. It's the same sock base. This one is navy blues and dark purples. Purple's one of my absolute favorite colors, and talked to a lot of knitters and fiber folks that say the same thing. And I have a lighter purple. This one is Aubergine. These two look really cool in a two-color shawl together. I also do a lot of variegated and speckled colorways. And I take a lot of my color inspiration from nature and my garden and things like that. So this is Winter Squash. It's a sort of olivey khaki green and a light peachy pumpkiny orange. Some lovely speckles in there. This is one of my Alice in Wonderland inspired colorways. This is Flamingo Croquet, and it is very much washed out on camera, but it's a very pale sage green with some darker green speckles and a pale rose pink. Just looking at the chat. Thank you, Melanie. I dyed my hair on Friday, and my hands are still a little bit stained blue. This one is water lilies. I currently have a moth-inspired Colorway of the Month club running in my Etsy shop, and my next Colorway of the Month club is going to be Impressionist paintings. So I feel like those translate very well to yarn and fiber, as do a lot of watercolors. So this is water lilies. It's cerulean blue, aqua blue, with speckles of purple, pink, and yellow. This one is another one of those dual tone colorways that really coordinate well together. This is Goldenrod, which is a very pretty semi-solid golden yellow. Goes really well with Merlot or water lilies or aubergine. Honestly, all of these. Here it is with Wizard, and here it is with Winter Squash. I knit my mom a pair of Mother's Day socks in these two colorways. She loved them. Let me move over real quick. This is Graffiti. This came about as an accident. I was trying to re-dye one of my earlier colorways, and I accidentally put this blue in there, but I really like how it went. This is just a whole bunch of speckles in pink, purple, blue, yellow, black. Again, it would pair really well with the darker purple, or the lighter purple. Even goldenrod. I really enjoy putting together fade sets and different color combos for folks. I also dye mini skeins. I have a whole bunch of them. This is graphite. All of my mini skeins are 20 grams and 93 yards. And so this is graphite. It's a kettle dyed gray with black splashes and speckles. This is mint, which is a very, very pale mint green. It looks white on camera, but this is mauve, which is a pale mauve color. I don't always get super creative with the names for things, but they're descriptive. This one's another purple. This is Mystic. It's trying to escape. It's quite similar to aubergine, but it's a little bit of a bluer undertone. This is Walnut, which is a lovely golden, warm brown. I do also like natural colors, not just, neon. I say as I'm holding the most neon thing that I have. This is Day Glow, showing up a little more yellow on screen, but it has a green undertone to it. And this is Blacklight Reactive, so go under Blacklight. I had one more, I think, somewhere. Yes, there it is. This is Camel. This very pretty, soft camel color. really nice with the Merlot. I think the Day Glow and the Graffiti would be a really fun color combo for some very, very bright socks. And the Flamingo Croquet would go really nicely either with the mauve or the mint. I also sell hand spun yarn. This is Chessie. This is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. It is 360 yards per 110 grams. It is a 2-ply, heavy fingering to sport weight, and it's super, super soft and squishy. Just looking at chat again. Thanks, Yuriko, for sharing my shop link. I have a discount code for you all. Thank you for the reminder. Let me grab that for you all. Okay. And this will get you 15% off in my shop through the 4th of May. And that's everything in the shop. Here's another skein of hand spun. This one is 100% BFL. It is a sport weight to maybe like a light DK. And these very soft, muted creams and browns, a little bit of purple and some golden yellow, a little bit of a peachy pink. I spend pretty much all of my yarn on my electric eel wheel nano, which has proven to be a very good investment. Here is the third skein of hand spun that I currently have up on the shop. This is, let's see if I can find the tag. This is 70% BFL and 30% mohair. This would make some really beautiful like boot socks. It'd be quite hard wearing, but it's still very soft and squishy and shiny from the mohair. It's these bright orange and peachy pink shades. This is another 2-ply, about a heavy sport to DK weight. Also have my Superwash Merino Cotton Blend fingering weight. I bought this base with like summer tops and tank tops in mind. This is Copper Kettle. It's a tonal or semi-solid sort of pinky copper color. This base is super duper soft, and the cotton gives it a lovely heathered effect. And this is Mome Wrasse, another one of my Alice in Wonderland inspired colorways. Bright yellows and blues and purples. It's definitely blowing out on screen, but if you go to my Etsy shop, you can see a lot better pictures of those colorways. I also have the same Fibre blend in DK weight. This is Alice, with the blue of her dress and the yellow of her blonde hair. And the DK weight is 231 yards per 100 grams. And the fingering weight in the cotton blend is 436 yards. This is a brand new colorway. I just finished drying yesterday. I don't remember what I called this one. Let me look that up. Okay, this one is Seafoam. This is very pale sea green with speckles of a slightly darker blue. I also have DK weight in just Superwash Merino. Another super squishy base. This one is 246 yards per 100 grams. Another one of my Alice in Wonderland colorways. This is Queen of Hearts. It's a variegated red and black and white with little speckles of yellow. This one's probably one of my favorites. This one is Tea Rose. This is very pale, dusty pink. Tonal color with little, let's see if I can find one of them. Here we go. Little tiny specks of a brighter pink. This is Chestnut, which is a very tonal, warm brown. I love how scanned up it looks like wood grain. This is Cyclone. I was trying to think of what to name this one, and it just sort of came to me. It kind of looks like a tornado on a prairie. All of the moody blues and stormy grays, little pops of color that look like dried leaves or dried grasses. We don't have many prairies around here, but we certainly do have tornadoes. So this is Cyclone on the Superwash Merino DK. It would go really well with Chestnut. Brings out those little pops of the golden browns. This is Spruce, which is another variegated with the dark teal. Sort of a lighter sage green with some light black speckles. Almost matches my hair. I really love greens, which you may be able to tell. Again, this one would look really nice with the chestnut colorway. This is a bit of a brighter, warmer color. This is Dreaming of Autumn. Very much a fall or autumn person. And sometimes when it's spring and very rainy and all the pollen is out, I'm like, I wish it was October. Or when it's summer and it's 110 degrees down here. This one has a sort of rich, rusty orange and some reds, and this sort of dusky purple. Another one that would go very well with the chestnut. It's just a very nice, warm neutral. I also have non-superwash merino DK. This is aubergine. You can see it turned out a little bit different than the same colorway on the sock yarn. It was due to the different fiber contents and fly structures. This one has more of like magenta speckles and flashes in it. I love a good purple. And another green. Don't remember what I called this one either. This is Leaf. And this is the non-superwash merino DK. This is very pretty grass green with some darker forest green in it. And the last yarn that I currently have in the shop is the Superwash Merino Bulky Base. This is in colorway Lagoon. It's a little bit bluer than my hair, but just as bright. And my bulky base is 181 yards per 100 grams. It's super duper soft. For my dad's last birthday, I knitted him a hat using this base, and it was just a whole lot of fun to work with, and knits up very quickly. Great for gift knits. I think that is the last of the yarn in the shop at the moment, but I wanted to talk to you guys about my sock pattern. The Arvacher socks are inspired by Norse mythology. Arvacher is one of the horses that draws the chariot of the sun, and this is the stitch pattern. It's got this central cable that creates these sort of sun-like medallion shapes, and it has this textured stitch and panels on either side, and these sort of bands of reverse stockinette reverse stockinette at the top and at the toe. Has a rounded wedge toe and a slip stitch heel with a garter stitch border. It is a top-down fingering weight sock in 2 different sizes, a medium and a large. The sample is knit in an earlier version of the goldenrod colorway because I thought it was very sunny. The pattern is available both on Etsy for those that can't access Ravelry and on Ravelry, so that it is accessible to as many people as possible. The pattern is $5, but if you purchase it from my Etsy shop with the coupon, which is LoveAffair15, then you will get 15% off that as well. I suppose I'll talk about my dyed wool locks next. These are a lot of fun to dye. I source all of my wool from small independent US farms where I know that um, the sheep are being treated well, and I get to know the farmers for these fleeces. This is the newest colorway that I came up with. This is Sea Glass. This again just dried yesterday. um, these locks are really beautiful and springy. They're great for felting, or you can comb them out and spin them, or I've used some in my weavings recently. You can see the staple length is between like 2 and maybe 3.5 inches. And this colorway is these tonal, soft, dusty sea greens, a little bit of blue in there. I love how these locks take up dye. You always get sort of a watercolor effect. From the same border luster fleece, I also have this. This is Spring Violets. And it's the same sort of beautiful curly Q lock structure. And this is a colorway of purples and blues. It's really kind of tricky to show these on camera. These are sold in my Etsy shop by the ounce. I believe they are $7 per ounce. That's $7 US. And Etsy will, of course, translate that into Canadian dollars if you're one of our lovely Canadian folks. This is August Flowers. It's this neon yellowy green and warm oranges. This would be a lot of fun adding texture to a bat. The green in this one is also blacklight reactive. Got a straight curl. I also have these very long Cotswold locks. This is the colorway Fall Leaves, and you can see they are dip dyed, and they go from this warm, sort of rusty orange through some grays and down to black at the tips. Again, these would be lovely for weaving or tail spinning. That'd be a lot of fun. Or you could use them for felting, either needle felting or wet felting. These are Cotswold locks. Pardon the rustling for just a moment. I also enjoy dyeing silk hankies, which are these guys. They're super duper light and soft. This is the colorway Carnival, which, as you can see, has some bright yellows, oranges, magenta, and some purple. And the way you use these, you can either use them for wet felting, like I believe it's called Nuno felting, but you can also take them apart, peel them off of the other ones, and then you sort of separate the fibers in the middle, and you stretch them out, and you can either knit or crochet with them directly like that, or you can spin them. I love this pot of bright, bright purple. This is about 1 ounce. So, as I said, they're very lightweight, so you get a lot of fiber per ounce. I think the last category of stuff I have to talk to you folks about is the cone top. I have quite a few fiber bases and fiber blends on the cone top. This is my preferred fiber form to spin from. This is my Targhee bamboo and silk blend. It's 80% US grown Targhee, 10% silk, and 10% bamboo. This is the blue raspberry colorway for, I think, obvious reasons. It's very bright, very pretty, space dyed. Targhee is one of my favorite fibers. Especially like it for spinning for socks because it's very springy and has a lot of crimp to it, but it's also quite soft. I believe the Targhee in this is about 23 microns. This is the colorway Harlequin in the same fiber blend. It's dark grays, light grays, and this bright red. And I love how the bamboo doesn't take the dye, so you get these pretty little white streaks. I also have BFL, which is another favorite. BFL is one of the first things I learned how to spin. This is a brand new colorway, Banana Slug. These banana yellows with some grays and browns, a little bit of orange here and there. And the BFL that I use is a 24 micron, so also quite soft. This is ectoplasm. The screen just does not want to show up well on camera, but it's the same bright black light reactive green and some of the sage green, little pops of peach. Sorry for any traffic noises. All of my neighbors are coming home from work. It is about 5:30 p.m. here. I also really like Rambouillet. This is a 21.5 micron Rambouillet. This colorway is called Forest Floor. It's a lot of very tonal browns with some yellows and some greens. A little bit of reddish orange. Rambouillet is also like really crimpy and really soft. It's similar to Merino, but it has a little bit more bounce and more poof. I prefer it to Merino for that reason. This is one of my garden-inspired colorways. This is Bell Peppers. It's orange and red and yellow, green. Very excited. I started gardening last year, and I just couldn't get my peppers to grow. They just wouldn't cooperate. But this year, I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like I have pepper plants that might survive. So I'll actually get some peppers this year, maybe, hopefully. This is also on the Rambouillet. This is another very bright colorway. This is Trapper Keeper. It reminded me of those bright neon 80s and 90s colors. This one has purple and aqua blue, that same bright neon green, and some pinks. This is going to look so fun spun up. I have one lone braid of baby alpaca dyed up. This is Squash Blossom. It's this peachy orange, yellow. It's more of that sagey green that I've been having a lot of fun with lately. And this baby alpaca is 17.5 microns. And it is absolutely the softest thing. Alpaca is great for folks with wool allergies because it doesn't have lanolin in it, and it also doesn't have as many of the scales as wool does. So it's a smoother fiber, so it is less likely to be prickly. I also have this Shetland silk blend. It's 70% gray Shetland and 30% Tussa silk. And I love the difference in how the gray wool and the white silk took the dye. This is a colorway called Berry Blast. These are 3-ounce braids because I did not math correctly when I divided them. And I love these dark, moody jewel tones. Obviously, look at me. I'm very much a jewel tone person. And everything looks better with black. This is the only colorway I currently have dyed up on Cheviot. Cheviot is the very first wool that I learned how to spin because it has a lot of grippiness and it has a long staple length. It's very good for things like socks or outerwear. This is the colorway Pixie. It's these very bright magentas and purples and navy blues. I think that is all the fiber that I have to show you guys, but I do have, I almost forgot, I do have quite a few stitch markers. All of my stitch markers are available either with your choice of a lobster clasp or a light bulb stitch marker. So these are the little glass leaves. Nice and small and lightweight for lighter weight projects. I also have a very pretty Picasso Jasper. These are each different because they are natural stones. So some of them are more brown, or more green, or more red. Here's another couple of those to show you some of the natural variation in the colors. And they come with this little iridescent bead. It goes very nicely with them. Those of us of a more spooky persuasion, I also have these really cute howlite skulls. For these, you can choose the bead color, either a slightly iridescent pale pink or a frosted purple. I also have some heavier weight ones, like this little ceramic panda. He looks a little derpy, but I think he's kind of cute. And These some ceramic owls. Very pretty, blue and white. Again, these heavier ones would probably be best for a heavier weight project like a worsted weight or bulky sweater. And the lighter ones can be used for things like socks and lace shawls. I also love these little lamp work glass pigs. Can't see them so well on camera, but he has a little snout, little ears, little feet, and a little curly tail on his butt. I did have to steal one of these for myself. It's just too cute. And one for the autumnally minded. These cute little ceramic pumpkins with gold beads. I think these would also look really nice as earrings. Honestly, all of these would. I also have, there seems to be a lot of overlap between yarn people and cat people. I have a lot of these very cute cat stitch markers. The beads were, I believe, inspired by old illuminated manuscripts, where sometimes the animals didn't quite look right. They looked a little too human, like these cats. They look very grumpy. I have those in orange, black, white, tan, sort of a burgundy color, and a dusty purple. I believe that is all the stitch markers that I have to show you guys today. So, does anyone have any questions? All right. I'm not sure exactly when my time slot is over. I believe we have about 15 more minutes. So, oh, I want to talk to you guys. Okay, I was wondering where the name Sherwood comes from. The neighborhood that I grew up in was called Sherwood Forest, and it was just full of trees. I grew up surrounded by plants, and my mom grew a backyard garden, and so I've always been very inspired by nature, and I love trees, and like I said, I recently started growing my own garden, which has been lovely. There's just something about the connection with the earth and seeing these different heirloom vegetable varieties that have been around since like the 1700s that are growing in my backyard, which is so cool. So I grew up surrounded by all of those woods and stuff, and I felt like since that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, and besides it sounds cool, I decided to name my business Sherwood Fibre Arts, and it started out as me crocheting on stuffed animals and selling them at farmers markets and stuff, and then as I started college, it sort of fell by the wayside, and then this year, with a little extra free time, or last year rather, with a little extra free time, I decided to keep myself busy and occupied and inspired. I would start up again. I started dyeing yarn in my parents' kitchen few years ago. And I started out using food coloring, which is a lot of fun, but there are some colors like blacks where you can't really get that with food coloring. So I graduated to using professional grade acid dyes, and here I am. I guess that went a little off on a tangent, but that's where the name Sherwood Fibre Arts comes from, and that's sort of the background of my dyeing journey. Where do your locks come from? The Cotswold locks come from a fiber farmer in Colorado, I believe. He has a lot of different breeds from Cotswolds, Merinos, Crosses, all kinds of things. And the Border Leicester, the shorter locks, come from Deacon Family Farms, which I've gotten to know Tiffany Deacon through another event that I'm a part of. Will the May Moth yarn be available again? No. All of the Yarn of the Month clubs are a one-time only deal, but June and July are still open, and I need to post and show folks the inspiration pictures for those. One is an atlas moth, and one is a death's head moth, I believe. Would you mind showing the yarns you suggest pairing with the Dayglow minis again? Sure. Okay, let me get my Dayglow mini, uncover my sock yarn. I really think it would look great with Graffiti, because they're both very bright and will bring out the sort of yellowish speckles in there. If you're into very, very bright socks, which I am, one of my favorite ways to wear bright colors is an all black outfit and neon socks. I also think it would go really nicely with Wizard. It's sort of dark and moody and very, very bright contrast. If you wanted to do like a scrappy project with just minis, I feel like these three, the Dayglow, the Mystic, and the Graphite, would go really well together. You're welcome, Melanie. I love getting to share my passion for color and for fiber and stuff with other people. I also enjoy really introducing people to fibers that they wouldn't otherwise have tried. I've gotten several folks hooked on Rambouillet that way. And the Rambouillet is also grown in the US. Yeah, this is the last skein of Graffiti I have left. Pretty much all of my colorways are one of a kind. So if you see something that you want, make sure to grab it, because I probably won't be able to dye it again. There's some things that I can try to recreate, but they won't be exact. Right. Anyone have any more questions? Or things they want me to go off on a tangent about? What is your favorite color right now? Oh, that's a hard question. I really like most colors. I really love grays and blacks, obviously. I love greens, obviously. I think right now it's a tie between sort of a dark, sort of hunter or forest green, and a golden yellow, like goldenrod. What is your favorite color for dye? Every time I dye a new color, I think it's my favorite. I I really like colorways like Graffiti because it's very much a free form process. For Graffiti, you speckle a whole bunch of different colors just everywhere, and um, it's really nice. I often feel a need to micromanage colors and control them, and or just things in general. And I feel like dyeing has really helped me with that because while you can control things to a certain extent, the color and the yarn are going to do what they're going to do. Um, like you can control temperature and acid level and water level and whether you pre-soak the yarn or not and the yarn fiber base, but really once you get the color in the pan with the yarn, it's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to flow and spread and soak into the fiber in sometimes very unpredictable ways. Like I was not expecting the colors on Banana Slug to really blend as much as they have. I was thinking they were going to stay a little bit more separate, but I like the color and the way that's turned out. Thank you. Um, I like to do a lot of either nature-inspired colorway names or nerdy colorway names like the Alice in Wonderland colors. Loving your yarn colors and your creativity. Well, thank you. I come from a family of artists, so people often think that I'm an art major, and I'm not. I started out as a social work major and got about halfway through that degree when I felt the need to change, and now I'm majoring in retail merchandising, which I'm hoping to be able to use that background in retail and in marketing and in fashion. A lot of it is very much fashion focused to help grow my dyeing business and my designing business and get to do more fun, fibery things in the future. The ultimate goal one day is to have a brick and mortar store. I would love to have a brick and mortar store with like classrooms and demonstrations and stuff like that. Any other questions? Okay, well, make sure to check out my Etsy shop. I try to do updates twice a month on every other Friday. And make sure to follow my Facebook and Instagram pages. I'm getting very close to 500 followers on Instagram, and then I will do a nice big giveaway. Your bingo word, please. Believe. Let me double check. I think I remember what it is. My bingo word is fibre. Fibre. I enjoyed your presentation. Well, thank you. I enjoyed being here, and thank you to Yuriko and the rest of the team for having me. It's really great to get to do these online events and reach people from places that I can't travel to at the moment, obviously. I know a lot of the folks watching are Canadian, and someday I would love to go to Canada. My mom's from Washington State, and she likes to say that she's diet Canadian. Montreal. Oh, cool. Keep saying one day I'm going to do a long road trip all around the US and Canada. Saskatchewan. Cool. Yeah, you guys have very different weather up there. It is currently almost summer. How much is the shipping to Canada? It is dependent on weight. I believe the base price on Etsy right now is $10, and then each additional item is $2. So I try to keep it as affordable for y'all as possible. But if there is a shipping overage, I will refund that for you. Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. I try my best to keep things reasonable. Pretty much everything gets shipped either first class, or if it's over the weight limit, then it gets shipped priority. So try to keep it as affordable and as fast for you guys as possible. Yeah, as I was saying, it is getting up into the mid 80s Fahrenheit right now. And I'm a little bit envious of those of you in cooler climates. Even though I love our long growing season, it's, yeah, we have mosquitoes the size of small dogs. Well, I'm going to drop the coupon code in the chat again, as well as my shop link. And we like to joke that you've got to watch your kids in the summer, otherwise the mosquitoes will carry them off. I'm only slightly exaggerating. Okay, so if anyone else has any questions, pop them in the chat. Otherwise, I've got, I think, 3 more minutes of my presentation time. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. What would you pair with copper kettle? Oh. Depends on if you want to mix bases or not. Because this is the only, these are the only 2 colorways that I currently have dyed up on this base. And I don't know. I don't think they go so well together, but if you wanted to mix bases with the cotton blend and the regular sock yarn, I think go really well with goldenrod. Or again, either of the purples. Or with Merlot. I haven't tried this base out for socks yet, but I'm planning to soon. And I think if you wanted to do a merino nylon contrast, like heels, toes, and cuffs, it would go really nicely with graphite. Or the camel. Alrighty, well, again, thank you all for having me. I enjoyed it very much, getting to talk to you guys. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Maddie. Don't you have the most beautiful colors? I was just drooling all over your shop. I hope I didn't make mess. All right, thank you so much.